Hello everybody, I'm Revo, and welcome to the Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader Platinum? This is a show I used to watch a lot as a kid, and it was one of my favorite, game shows right next to Wipeout. And it's on my little list I'm making of, popular board games slash TV show games that are on PlayStation that have platinums, because I'd like to go for them one day all. I'd like to get, all them one day and stuff like that. So for Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader's Platinum, it is going to be a 1 out of 10 in difficulty, take us 20 playthroughs in about 10 hours. The way the game works is we have two modes, exam mode and study mode. We're going to just focus on exam mode for right now, and we have two hosts. One is named Ted, while the other is named Claudia, and between them, they're going to ask us a mix of 11 questions. We have, grades 1 through 6, and as we go along, grades 1 through 5, we'll have two questions, and once we get to grade 6, we'll have just one question. The other thing is we have 3 cheats at our disposal. If we get stuck at any time, we can choose to ask the whole class of, 6th graders, I believe, of what they think the answer should be. We can choose to get a completely new question, or we can copy our student's answer who is sitting next to us. They're somewhere on the right screen. I'm sure you can see him maybe. If not, you'll see him in a couple minutes. However, that is the most dangerous cheat, because if I copy them and they get it wrong, I get it wrong. And if at any point I answer a question wrong, the game is over and I'm automatically back to 1st grade. And this game actually has a permanent record system, which plays a very, crucial part in this trophy run. Because from what I understood, messing up your permanent records grade average will make the game longer for us. For example, on this first run, I needed to have an A+ average and get 100 questions correct. And so for that, if I missed more than 3, it would mess up my average. So if at any point I missed more than 3, I quickly closed the game and restarted it, because I did end up missing exactly 3. So I just didn't want to risk, messing up my A+ average, because that would not be good. The other note is, once we get to 6th grade, we have no cheats available. And on top of working on the A+ average, I'm actually working for the trophy of completing 10 games without using any cheats. So Google is my little friend here, and so is my mom, because she knew some of the answers. And we just sat there and knocked this game out. We do get 3 trophies after our first run. We get 1 for beating the exam mode, 1 for beating the exam mode without using any help, and 1 for, just playing the exam mode. Without further ado, those 3 trophies are going to pop, and we are locked in for the Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader Platinum.
Really smarter than a 5th grader. Which of these words appears in the spelling of the following word? Gorgeous. Gorgeous. George. G. Gorge. Standard gamer. Which is the answer? And we've got your answer. The right answer is gorge. Great work. You get 500 points. Let's take a last look at the final scores. Congratulations! You did a great job. Let's take a last look at the final scores. Congratulations! You did a great job. You did a great job. Time to add those points to your record.
Sorry for that little repetitive trophy video popping, pretty much. I used the PlayStation capture to record it. I do have a capture card, I just feel like I didn't need to set it up for this game. But anyway, after we beat the game, we have another, side objective thingy. And pretty much after we beat every game, or fail every game, we're gonna have a little bar. And essentially this is like an EXP bar. We need to level it all the way up to 6th grade, and the more answers we get correct, the more points we get. So our next trophy is just gonna be, we played the game, we're already to the 1st grade, and yeah, this is going to be the longest trophy, just trying to get all the way up to 6th grade, but we do have this one, at least, for reaching the 1st grade, so we're off to a good start.
Congratulations, you've done so well. Time to put those points into your record. I wonder what you just unlocked. It's time for a new subject.
Horror gamer, please
Now, working towards the 100 question answers with an A plus average, on our desk here is a little bobblehead, and I hope you guys like my desk. It is Halloween themed. It's got a little ghost bobblehead. I think it looks super dope, honestly. But if we whack our bobblehead a bunch in it during a one game session, at the end of the game session, we will obtain a trophy for whacking our little bobblehead. Sorry, bobblehead, you deserve. I don't know what honestly you do with a bobblehead, so maybe our bobblehead likes it. Either way, we get the trophy.
And that's the end of the show, folks. School's out. Thanks again for joining us on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
I go ahead and keep on playing, and I get my 100 questions correct while having an A plus average, which means once again we're going to have 3 trophies pop here, so sorry, we're going to see the same 3 clips again, but I get one for having an A plus average and answering 100 questions, doing 10 games in a row without using any help, not counting the internet, because it's my, bestie for this, and 3, gotta remember, reaching the 2nd grade. That's fantastic. 3 more trophies down.
Looks like we've unlocked something new. It's time for a new subject. School's out. Thanks again for joining us on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? School's out. Thanks again for joining us on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
This one actually just needs us to be an A student, and in order to do that, I need to get 4 questions wrong, and that is going to bring my average down to an A, and then I just need to answer a bunch of questions, and that'll get me the trophy for being an A student. However, we can also get a little another side trophy here by just missing the very, very first question in 1st grade. That's going to get me the unlucky trophy, and then right after that, I'm going to keep playing a little bit, get this A trophy, and an interesting thing about this trophy that drove me up the walls is, so if I miss more than 4, my average will go down from an A. And I missed a question because I was like half asleep while I was playing because, I was enjoying this game, but it was starting to hit that repetitive stride. And so I missed a question and I was like half asleep and I was like, oh shoot, I missed. Closed my game and missed the trophy popping because I didn't need to get all the questions correctly for the final trophy or that trophy to pop. I just need to answer 100 questions while having an A average. And because of that, I kept playing, and I was like, why is this trophy not popping? Because it turned out I already got it a whole 24 hours before. We can also get one more other trophy here, though, and that's actually we need to use all these cheats. 10 games in a row, I need to use all 3. Copy, ask the class, and what's the last cheat? I gotta remember, it's been a minute. The last cheat, which is copy a new question. Now, there's actually a specific strategy to this, just so I didn't, fail. And that was right away in 1st grade, I used the copy question, just so I knew the kid wouldn't get it wrong. And then I just used the other question, the other cheats whenever I needed to. I just need to use all 3 of them in one game 10 times, and that got me the next trophy. So once again, we have 3 trophies popping, 1 for missing the very first question, 1 for having an A average and answering a bunch of questions, and 1 for using 3 cheats in 10 games.
Unfortunately, you were not smarter than a 5th grader, but we'd love to see you here later. And that means the end of the show. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again soon on Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? Unfortunately, you were not smarter than a 5th grader, but we'd love to see you again in our class. And we'll have to end the show for now. We hope you had fun. Thanks again for joining us on Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader?
Progression. And it's time for the end of the show. School's out. Thanks again for joining us on Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader?
With that, we are officially done with exam mode, and all we have left is the study mode. This is a co-op multiplayer mode with up to 8 people, and it's where I'm going to be for the rest of this platinum journey. I went ahead and played it with my mom once, and we played it just to get a feel for it. And it's pretty much, they ask us the same
Oldest
questions.
sibling,
We
do
each
you have
obviously
the
have our
answer?
own 3 cheats we can use. And whoever wins, whoever gets, the most questions right at the end wins. Now, looking at my trophies, there's
What's the
actually
right
no
answer?
trophy for just winning. I need to play the study mode with one person, play the study mode with more than one person, and then play study mode with 8 people. So, luckily, we can just use one controller for that, so it's not too bad. And yeah, there is a little mini game in this. I didn't really pay attention to it. I skipped past it a lot, so I can't really talk about it. But we got the trophy for playing the study mode with, just me and my mom, and then we played it with 8 people between
We
us with
got
one
everyone's
controller.
answers now.
Got that out of the way, and then I
And
went back
the
and I
real
real quick played
answer
it
is
solo, which is weird. Why would you have a multiplayer mode?
3.
That is, you need to
Everyone
play
answered
solo.
this
I don't
question
understand
right.
that part, but I got that out of the way.
250
So once again,
points
we
for
have 3
everyone
trophies
here.
coming your way, and then I'll get more into it in just a moment.
That's 2 answers locked in. And that makes the answer Chicago. 0 points for you both. It's time to check out the final scores. You've all done pretty well. Why? Good job. You get 500 points. Let's take a last look at the final scores. Congratulations! You did a great job.
Answer is bacteria. No wrong answer to be seen here. You all get the big 500 points. Let's see what that did to the final scores. The group's done pretty well.
Choose the right answer.
All we have left to do to get this platinum is to keep playing and leveling up our school score. That's what I'm gonna call it. I need to get all the way up to 6th grade, and it does take quite a lot of points. This is where the majority of
That's
getting the
everyone
platinum comes
answered.
in at.
The real
And man, it
answer
got
is
exhausting,
actually
Like I said earlier in the video, I do like this game, but this is the
ambiguous
part of the
pronoun.
game where I was
Everyone answered this one
zoning
right.
out. I actually had my
You
mom
all
play
get
for
the
me while I
big
was at work just to help
500
speed things up.
points.
And then we did figure out the study mode is one of the easiest ways to level up quickly. You
It's
see,
time for us
when
to
you play
see the
solo,
final
whenever you get to the end of the
scores.
game, you get, I want to say,
Congratulations.
2,500
You're
points.
all so
But if you
smart.
play with, 8 people, at the end of the game, if you all answered correctly, or however many people answered, correctly and got whatever points, that's
Time to add up all the
2,500.
points that
I
were
think the
earned.
most I got was 2,300. So let's just round down to 2,000. 2,000 times 8. All those points are then added. So, yeah, it was like an 8 times multiplier. So pretty much I just kept playing the study
Nice
mode
mom.
over and
Choose us an
over,
answer.
getting all these points non-stop. And I was able to finally get this in just few games. I think it only took, I want to say,
Okay,
6,
baby.
7. It still
Please
took
pick
quite
an
a couple
answer.
games. So I would call a little bit of BS
Everyone's
on the trophy
answers?
guide saying 20
Well,
playthroughs,
the
because this took
right
me a lot
answer
more than
is
20. However, there's one other trophy that's randomly going to pop.
1789.
It's called
Everyone
Prodigy of
answered it
Medals, I
correctly.
think. And
You
I
all
did
get
not
the big
understand this trophy.
500
From what I did
points.
understand is I had to have A grade in 8 subjects, and I
Let's
had them
take a
written out so
look
I knew what
at
to
the
focus on.
final
And I
scores.
had to do
Congratulations,
math,
you're all so
chemistry,
smart.
humanities, and geography. All of them I had it a B. And so on my final playthrough before this trophy popped,
Let's
I
see
was
how
just
many
focusing on
points you've
geography because
just
that was the
earned.
only subject that was showing up for me. And at the end of that run, the trophy popped. And so I don't know how that
150
trophy
points
worked
for
because the other
everyone here.
subjects were still at a B. So that's the one trophy I don't understand. It just randomly popped. But because it's
So,
all pretty much the
Brooke,
same thing, I'm
what
just
did you
going to let
learn
all the
today?
trophies pop here
Why
in
don't
this
you
little
tell us a
video
nice
montage
fact
at
about
once.
yourself?
So enjoy as we go
I know how
through
to ride
3rd to
horses
6th
and
grade, I
mules.
believe. And
Thank
we
you.
get
It's
the
time for the
Prodigy
next
Medal
question.
trophies.
Let's see what you've just unlocked. You've got a new subject. Please hold the... Looks like we've unlocked something new. It's time for a new subject. And we'll have to say goodbye for now. See you soon. Thank you for joining us on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
You've earned enough to unlock something. It's time for a new subject.
Let's look at what you've unlocked. Let's look at what you've unlocked.
With that, the Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader Platinum has been obtained. This is my 101 Platinum, my first one after 100, which is kind of dope. But yeah, like I said, this was a show I used to watch as a kid. I enjoyed it. I was happy to have this game done. I feel like I got my money's worth. It did get very exhausting towards the end, and I'm sorry if this video, came out a little more sloppy than I expected. I didn't realize there actually wasn't too much to talk about when going for the Platinum, because it was pretty much, get the A+, get the A, level up, that's it. But besides that, still a fun time. Glad, it's one of the Platinums I have now achieved. And there's not too much else. I have some great videos coming out this summer. I have like a little list of games I'm planning to play that I'm very excited for. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. And I guess that's it. I will see you all next time. Goodbye.